And thank you for staying with us on PM Express. Dr. Kweku, thank you for your time again.
Thank you, my brother.
Before we even get to the limited voter registration exercise, you just finished Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting, IPAC. What happened?
Thank you. Before I go on, Amara, I want to express my appreciation to Ghanaians for the cooperation given us throughout the last 21 days with respect to the registration exercise. And as we normally do, before the registration, we had a meeting with the IPAC, and normally the name should be parties, but we also invite people from the civil society organizations, then the development partners, some of the ambassadors and others, they are all part of such meetings. So they came and we had a successful meeting. We only told them, we had 3 agenda for the program. The first one was to update the members with respect to the registration exercise, with respect to the figures. The other one was also the formation, or they were putting together what they called a registration adjudication review committee. This committee is made up of staff of the Electoral Commission, reps of the political parties, and reps of the civil society organizations. So what we'll do, that there's a team we call the education team. They will go into the database, then they will pull out the suspected multiple registrants. Then we will look at, and each of them, they will come with, if you have registered more than 10, the various pictures will come with the various fingerprints accompanied. Then if it was the same machine that you used, or use different machines, if they were registered different days, all these things will come. Then we'll have a look at it, whether it's a mechanical error or whether the person intentionally. I remember that I was that the first time we did biometric in 2012, somebody registered in Cape Coast. At that time I was there. Within 24 hours, the person was in Bolga to register. So in such a case, when the system pulls up, you don't think you have any excuse. But some of them, processing the system, some challenges may be network breakdown or whatever. So when you think that you have not registered, the system might have registered the person. So you go on and you're using some machine, because that time they are not linked, they cannot communicate. The joy in this situation is that because about 99% of work was done online, so online there's no way you can do multiple registration. Because when you put yourself and your biometrics are taken, the system will communicate that you are already there. So it is only when we use the offline that we encounter the issue of multiple. And we need to look at it and see whether there are genuine errors or the person intentionally, then the committee will come out with that. So the second agenda was on the constitution of the Education Committee. And the third one is the replacement of ID cards for the Guan district. You know, the Guan district was created in November 2020. And before then, they were part of Jessica during the registration. And Jessica has different district code. Now that you have created, you have Guan, you have to create another district code. And once your district code changes, your police station code will also change. So you have printed them, they are 17,000 plus. So
ID cards?
ID cards, yes.
So for prospective voters in Guan?
For those who were registered recently.
Okay.
But then, before we started, we adjusted it.
Okay.
So they have the new code. But I'm talking of those who were registered in 2020. Okay. At that time, there was no Guan district. So they were registered as part of Jessica. Okay. So we are retrieving the old ID cards and give them new ID card to reflect their new district situation.
And how many did you say you've printed already?
About 17,600 something.
Okay. So, and that also was reviewed at this IPAC meeting?
Yes, so we informed them.
We informed
so that when we are out doing the exhibition or at the address of you go and see them, it will not be like Electoral Commission is giving people fake ID. You know, some of these issues. So you need to communicate to them so they know. So that is the third agenda. First one I said, update of the registration. Second one is the formation of the adjudication committee. And third one is the one replacement of ID cards. So this is what we took them through. And as usual, it was okay. Only that the NDC didn't come. but the other parties
ask
came.
if they were there.
Yes, I know you were. That's why I had it.
Is the
NDC
the only part that didn't show up?
Well, that is the notable one I saw.
Okay.
Because automatically, if NDC doesn't come, God will know that they didn't come.
Okay.
But the rest were there.
Okay. MPP was there, obviously.
Exactly.
PNCCPP?
They were all there.
Okay. All well attended?
Yes, it was full attended, including the CSOs and the development partners.
Let's start with the last one about Guan.
Yes.
So with this now done and the printing of the 17,000 you said,
yes.
what does it mean?
17 plus.
17 plus. What does it mean for Guan getting an opportunity now to vote for in the next year's elections?
Let's understand that 2020 they voted for the presidential.
In the parliamentary.
In the parliament because there was no constituency called Guan.
True.
That's why they couldn't vote.
True.
Yes. So now we have already submitted the CI that is establishing the constituency. The district is created by the government through parliament. That one was done at the middle of November 2020.
Yeah.
So the time frame was too short. And let us also understand that once you are creating a constituency, you have to pass a CI to establish it. Mm-hmm. And every CI should be before parliament, should be laid before parliament for 21 sitting days before it can pass. So automatically, if you establish a district in November, there's no way you can have the 21 days passing before you can.
December 7th.
Exactly. That's why they couldn't vote for the parliamentary, but the presidential, they voted.
Okay. So has the CI been laid already?
Yeah, it's before parliament.
It's before parliament. Okay. So what that means is that we're going to have a situation when parliament resumes shortly, that the Guan constituency CI will begin to count towards 21 days for it to now fully mature. Exactly. And then the constituency will be formally created.
Exactly.
So this was submitted before Parliament went on recess or during the recess?
No, the process takes a long time. We do a lot of engagement, pre-laying. That one alone can take about 1 month.
Okay.
So we have been doing all these processes, and I believe what is left now is to be laid.
So the pre-laying stage is done?
Have gone through the
Okay, so now it's the proper laying of the CI for it to count. And so give or take, you expect that by at least December,
all
it is being called, yes. The Guan constituency.
I don't know when they are coming away.
Yes.
I don't know when Parliament is resuming. But if they resume and they will spend more than 21 sitting days,
they should happen. Okay. And so the guarantee you're giving to the people there is that definitely in 2024, once the counting done and the CI matures, they'll get to vote in the parliamentary elections.
God willing, yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's track back now to the first agenda, which was an update on the limited voter registration exercise. Well, what is the update?
Yeah, so the update was just to take them through how the exercise went. And first, we are all aware that we said we were doing a 21-day activity. So we finished the registration on that was Monday, and Monday was on the 2nd. So when we were going to finish, we realized that there were some people in the queue said that there was no way they could have been covered before the close. So we came out with a policy or a decision that anybody who is in the queue should be numbered, given some form of card, so that they will come the next day, which is Tuesday, for them to be covered. And all those people were covered the next day, that was yesterday. So as I speak here, and to the best of my knowledge, anybody who made himself or herself available has been covered.
Okay. How many people in all have you managed to register in this?
That one I have to consult my documents.
No problem.
So based on what I have here, we registered 910,996 voters.
900,000 plus people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Does that meet your target? Because you had a target of 700,000.
Exactly. So you have answered the question. So normally, like I said that because registration is not composed in Ghana, even if there are 10 people who are qualified to register, you don't expect all of them will register, right? So we said that by statistics from the census 2021 census, they said that they projected that 450,000 people turn 18 a year. So if you put that 3 years together, because we didn't do registration in 2021, 2022, and 2023, 450,000 multiplied by 3 will give you 1.35. So we will know that the people who qualify by the projection is to the 1.35. But like I said,
and that's was based on
the 2020-21 projection. That
by the statistical service.
Exactly so. Now, if you compute 2.6, that's the growth rate by the 30 million. That's around the figure you get.
So the figure was what again, based on your calculation?
The 450,000 a year with 1018. In other words, 450,000 people are born in a year. So you multiply by 3, give you 1.35. That is it.
And you initially set the target at 1.2?
No, we didn't.
It was because it was reviewed.
We didn't review anything. Well, we said that this is the projected figures, but this is what we are expecting to cover.
Okay.
Yes, because as I said, there's no way you can get a full set.
Because the understanding that we got was that it was an initial target that you set yourself over $1 million, which was reviewed to 700,000.
It is one of the papers that published that, but that wasn't the target set by the commission.
Okay, so you're clarifying that 1.2 million or 1.3?
The total number.
The total number that you had set based on your calculations.
That's 1.35.
1.35 million was what based on the statistical service projections you had estimated it would cover. And so if that's the case, why do you have 700,000 instead of 1.35?
For registration, you will not get, if you go to Australia, for instance, registration is compulsory. Once you turn the age, but here it's not compulsory. So if you have 10 people who are qualified, you don't expect that all the 10 will come. So based on, what do you call it, precedent, they will say that let's target 700,000.
Okay, the national chairman of the NDC was very critical of that approach, and that you should have made room for everybody who qualified, and that should have been your target based on the statistical service own projections, which you had made was the basis for the calculations. Yeah. Has he got a point?
No, so like I said, it has never happened that if this is the number, all of them will rest. It's like when we are going to vote. No, when we compiled the race, we had 70 million plus for total, but the voter turnout was 79%. So you don't go to election and say that you get 100%. Even those days when Saddam Hussein was there, he was getting 90%, people were contesting it. It doesn't happen where that you go for an election, you get 100%. So the same thing, it doesn't happen anywhere unless maybe even Australia, where it is compulsory to register, they can't get 100%.
I mean, I guess for practical purposes, once you set a target, that also then influences your logistical deployment. And his point is that if you set a higher target, then you deploy more resources in anticipation of capturing more people. So even if they don't come, at least you've created an opportunity for them to be registered. And that understated it at 700, then obviously limited the extent of the deployment.
No, maybe he's saying it outside the commission. But we wanted you to know that even though we knew 1.35 is the figure, we sent out 2 million to the field.
2 million kits, yes, registration kits?
No, 2 million registers.
Registers, okay.
So forms and the laminates, the material that will be used. They are the running materials. As for the camera will be one camera. But that camera should be able to serve number of people who appear before it. So if you are projection, the camera will not have any effect in terms of numbers, but the running ones, that will be. So we projected that if two many people were to appear, we will have covered them.
Okay. And what do you make of his concern also that the EC, in setting a target, obviously is determining unilaterally how many people should register and vote, and that's not something that you should be arrogating the power to yourself to do, because it's a constitutional right for everybody. So you should just set up and register anybody who would come and register.
You don't take a decision in a vacuum. Everything that you are doing, you plan based on precedent, based on international standards and other things before you come out. So like you're saying, we projected for 700, but we have registered more than 900. We did not say because we projected for 700. Once we got 700, we will not do any registration again, right? So we sent enough materials to the front, and the number of people who have appeared before it have asked for registrations, we were able to capture 900,000 plus. So it means that we have gone beyond our projection.
Okay. I mean, so for clarity, you set the target for planning purposes.
Yes, exactly so.
Okay. But must the EC do that?
No, see,
shouldn't you just set up for anybody who qualifies? Because his point is the constitution is clear, it lays a foundation for who is qualified to enter the voters register.
Okay.
And so you said the EC is just to set the processes and the foundations for people to come and register, regardless of how many there are.
So that boils back to the question I just said. You plan, but you make provision for everybody. Even though the total is 1.35, we went with 2 million. So we have enough material to cover almost 1.6% of what the total number we are supposed to register. Is that not the case? But we know that there's no way we can get there. For example, if you take this level election, we normally hover around 40 to 50,000. So when we are going to do this level election, our plan is to get around 50%. That's our plan. But it does not mean that we will not print ballot papers for everybody. So you print a ballot paper for everybody, but you know that for this level election, you are going to have around 50%. If you take general elections, normally the turnout are very high. So you have 17 million people. You print for the 17 million people plus, but by precedence and antecedent and everything, you said, oh, we have planned that we should go there around 80,000. Mean that if you take 2016, it was 65% with the turnout. Then this one has 79%, right? So when you put all the figures together, you should plan that based on consistency that we have, this is what we are projecting. It does not mean that it is static, so that if people are coming more than what you projected is. So you make provision the resources, but you should have planned. You have planned that, right, that this is what it is. So that when you get it, then read that. For example, 2020, it was 79%. So if you target that you are in 2024, I'm not saying that's what we have to sit and plan. That if you target maybe you are going to get 80%. If you achieve that, then you have gone beyond the previous year, right? But no matter what we have also realized that the year that we compare new register, we tend to have higher voter turnout than subsequent years.
This continues.
Yes.
And the biggest controversy going into the limited registration exercise was your decision to set up the centers at the district levels. Now the process has ended. Considering what you've just told us, what's your assessment of your ability? Because the main concern was you're going to disenfranchise people. It's going to far-flung, difficult to reach. People will have to commute there and they won't be, and so people will stay back and not register. What's your assessment now? Now we now know what the outcome is. What does the EC say to that criticism now?
Well, you and I will know the figures. So if you look at the figures, you can draw your own conclusion whether the criticisms were justified. For us in the Electoral Commission, it is beyond our expectations. So we will say, and I mean, for now, when we met the parties and the rest, nobody complained.
Today?
Yes.
In the IPAC meeting?
Yes.
None of the parties complained?
None. Those who
but the parties that were in IPAC, even without the NDC, some of them said what?
Some are already in the court. But
yes,
when we met, to me, and I could call a lot of I wouldn't be mentioned their names. They all agreed that a good job has been done.
NDC had joined forces with some of them.
So today we made reference to those who are in court, and they agree that we have done a good job.
So they gave you thumbs up. They endorsed the work you've done.
The case because they have gone to court, I wouldn't want to say much, but today none of them complained. Not a single one. None of them complained.
Their fundamental concern that you're going to disenfranchise people with your decision.
So,
and today they tell you in IPAC.
None of them complained that we have disenfranchised anybody. None.
But did they admit they were wrong?
Oh, we didn't discuss that because it's before court. But now they are all interested in the adjudication process and blah, blah, blah. Nobody's complained about the so-called disenfranchising people and also.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think they didn't complain?
No, I'm saying that because the figures does not support that assertion. The figures does not. Because to get 900,000 voters out of 1.3 projection is not easy.
You said IPAC also had civil society representation
Yes.
today.
And the former partners.
The civil societies had also criticized you.
That's what I'm saying.
How did they also react in IPAC today?
Normally, APAC is for political parties and the electoral commission. But once in a while, we give them the opportunity to speak. So I think about 2 of them talked about it. And like I said, nobody has any case to complain about.
Even the civil
They are
society?
thinking of going forward.
Even the civil society groups?
Yes.
Was Kudeo represented today?
Yes.
Because I spoke to Kudeo many times, and they were very, very clear that what you were doing was wrong, and you should change the tactics and position the centers closer to people.
At the meeting today, they did not complain. That's what I would say.
Those who are in court, did they indicate if they would take the case out of court then?
No, we did not discuss the court
at
issue.
all.
We did not discuss the court issue. But the question again is, they are ready to be part of adjudication. And this adjudication is coming out of the compilation of the register. So that is conclusive enough to tell you something.
So they moved on from what you
Exactly.
said. They moved on from this. Okay.
Exactly.
Would you expect then that this case in court will be withdrawn?
Oh, I have not gone to court. The electoral commission has not gone to court. So it depends on what they themselves will talk about. But today the environment was so friendly, cordial, and the rest of it. So let's see how it goes.
Would you have wished that at least the NDC would have been part of this IPAC meeting today?
I personally engage a lot of them outside the IPAC and those also. But I know God will one day they will come.
I mean, considering the outcome today, would the EC beyond IPAC reach out to them? At least to let them know what the outcome had been?
They're reaching out. We understand that they are always welcome. So every meeting that we are conveying, we invite them. When we finish, we send them copies of the minutes. So we continue to do that. And the irony of it is that other committees that are formed out of IPAC meetings, we invite them, they bring their reps. For example, this meeting I was talking of, we have said that the MPP and NDC should have permanent feature, so they are bringing reps. The other parties will also join and bring, I think, 3 reps or whatever. And
for the adjudication?
Yes, and those who are in say that they are there, so they should be given the right to represent, not those who are not coming. But nobody in Ghana will doubt the fact that NDC is a prominent party in Ghana that is good to be with them when you are taking decisions. So we in the Electoral Commission appreciate their importance in decision making. So the adjudication committee said that MPP will bring one, they will also bring one.
So how would they hear about this?
Like I said, every meeting that we hold, we send the minutes of the meeting.
Oh, so you also send, regardless of the fact that they are
every meeting that we hold since they left, we send them invitation.
So you expect all
invitation will go and the minutes will go to them.
Okay, so
and the minutes will tell you everything that. For before now, they might have heard what has transpired, so they will come.
Okay, so you expect that although they were not part, they will nominate their person for the
exactly. We did the same for the modalities committee and dominated the nominated people. So this one too, we know they will come. Because they know that it's very important activity that they should be part.
Okay. So now that the process is over, I understand you are also currently replacing cards?
Yes, those who have lost their cards. Yes.
Okay. And how long will that?
The lost card, we have not put a closing date on it because somebody may even misplace the card a day before election. So that's one we have done. But it's the transfer that we are saying we are comparing them from the 3rd, that was yesterday, to the 9th. So that if you have relocated, the law says that if you have relocated no less than 21 days, 12 months to an election, then you can transfer. Because, for example, if you were in Bolga and you were a government worker, either you have retired, you've come down, or you have been transferred to this place, or maybe you were in Abuburushi, you have put up your new building the one you have put at, let's say, East Legon.
Yeah.
So you have relocated to East Legon. Then you say that transfer your vote from Abuboshi to that. And then the law says that you should have done so in relocation not less than 12 months. And once that is done, you apply with evidence that you have relocated. Then we allow you to transfer your vote to your new place. So that during the voting time, you don't go to where you are no more resided.
I mean, with the current numbers from this limited voter registration exercise, you're now looking at a voter population of over 18 million.
Exactly, that's what.
Yeah.
No, I think it will be just below. Because
you have 17.
17.
Yes, and then this 900,000.
Yes.
So
almost, but I don't think it will be up to around 18.
Yeah, and obviously you're going into the district level elections now. Now that this is over.
Yes.
I'm
not cutting. So that should tell you that the Electoral Commission has been very efficient in the sense that if you have a population of about 31,000 and you have 18,000 registered voters.
So you have a population of 31 million and you have 18 million.
Yes. So if you compute, then you are getting around 57, 58. Which is, in terms of percentage, I'm not 100% sure, but it's 50 plus. But people used to be 55, so now we are going 56, 57. It tells you that the registered population ratio is very high. It is only in Cape Verde that have, I think, 56. And the total population is 800,000. So, and if you take Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria is about 44% or so. So it means that we are very efficient.
And obviously there's a question around mopping up for those areas where the EC hasn't been able to reach so far with the limited voter registration exercise ahead of next year's elections. And Dr. Kweku, that question came up at the last press conference. The chairperson herself made the point that we should expect a mop-up. When would that happen?
Yeah. Maybe the other you are discussing or you didn't get her right. What she said was that we are going to roll out continuous registration. So that's no mop-up. But periodically we will support it with mop-up at difficult to access
areas. Yeah. That's what I'm referring to. Okay. So when would that happen?
Yeah, so as you are aware, our desire is to have the new CI. And if you follow the recent legislation, all the tension and conflicts came as a result of the guarantee system. And there were a lot of people who were challenged, and they still insisted they were registered, or some of them accepted when you confront them that they are not 18 years or they are not Ghanaians, and they said back out. So all these people were coming in through the guarantee system. That's why we are saying that the guarantee system should be the thing of the past, because we are at this modern time. All the African countries, they don't do guarantee system. Once they go biometric, so we get the proper identification for you to identify yourselves. Because to me, it's primitive for you to come and tell you that Evans is not a Ghanaian, Evans is a Ghanaian, Evans of this age and this modern time. So you don't have any form of identification. So we should have proper identification so that when you see somebody, the person comes with the document, everybody will know who or she is.
Except that you still do not have consensus around this particular subject.
And the challenge was that you were saying the NIA has not registered a lot of people. But as I speak to you, the information I have is that all the districts are now operating. So we only appeal to people who have not yet taken advantage of the rating to go and have it.
Yeah, but as I was making the point, you still don't have consensus on this.
Yes.
NDC disagrees with you. In fact, there are other civil society groups who believe that the right thing to do is to include the guarantee system as an option. Parliament is about to resume. How do you build consensus to achieve this objective of yours?
I think it's not that they don't like it. They all agree that if everybody has the Ghana card, that's the best way to go. All of them agree. But their challenge was that NIA has not covered enough. So now that they have rolled out, it is our appeal to the government to give them enough resources. So if they're able to sustain what they are doing up to December, then by the time we go to January, if we are going to talk about whether the
Dr. Kweku, I mean, considering that what you just said, it's not something that you are in control of. It is dependent on government being able to raise the resources. It is dependent on the NHIA itself being able to be efficient and register people. Isn't that why you need to create another option, especially when those other variables that will qualify people to get on a voters register is not within the control of the Electoral Commission?
See, we hold the view that we need to do anything that we can do to protect the sanctity of the register. And protecting the sanctity of the register is putting in place mechanisms that will prevent people who are not qualified to register to be in the system. And looking at the way we have done it since 1992 to date, then the easiest way to prevent non-qualified people onto a register is to get a form of proper identification. And that is what we're saying, that let us all put appeal to the government where they might put pressure on them to resource the NIA.
So if you don't get the resources, then what happens?
No, but now they're doing it.
Yeah,
NIA is working.
But they are working, but it's about resources to actually produce
so for
the cards.
now, they have no complaint because it means that they are now they have the
produce
resources.
the cards on time and people getting it. That is a factor that is dictated by so many things, economic factors, etc. So if that becomes a challenge, I mean, unforeseen events happen, like we're currently in an economic crisis, right? Then what happens to those who are being excluded because of guarantor system?
If we continue to give excuses, we will not get to where we want to. Anything that you want to do, there will be but you have to overcome the but. So that is the challenge. I agree with what you're saying. But if you all put our hand to the wheel, we will get there. If we all agree that the guarantee system has it, the challenges that I'm talking about, if we all agree, then let us all put our heads together and overcome any challenges with the NIA so that people will have their card. As I speak, and the information I have is that they have opened the 900 or so offices more than ours. So which is higher than our figures. Let Ghanaians patronize it, take advantage of it, so that those who don't have, by the end of this year, January, they should have gotten it. So that when we go to Parliament again, then not having the Ghana card will not be an argument. And I believe everybody will come.
Because that question is very key. How do you plan to deal with the parliamentary gridlock around this? Because you're going back.
What's the
strategy?
It is not the issue that they don't like, but the issue is that we don't have enough cards, so that if you want to insist on that solely, some people will be disenfranchised.
And so you believe that if the NIA challenges are resolved, and government, it will convince the NDC to come on board?
Well, it's not the NDC doesn't like it. I don't think so. The argument is genuine because maybe in their places they know that some people are not will be disenfranchised. But if we go and you are saying that don't use the water drinking as a condition for coming to school, then because of some people don't have access to water. Now the water is flowing, everybody is drinking. Why would you say that we should not use that one as an argument? So once everybody gets the Ghana card, then the argument that people who will be disenfranchised will not come in. Because the only condition that people are arguing about is the unavailability of Ghana card to some people. Yes.
I want to take a quick break. When I return, we'll talk about the district level elections very briefly, and then we'll look ahead to the 2024 elections and what everything else that has happened so far means for that particular election. Stay with us.
Whiskey. Wash. All of a sudden, my voice I hear different. And when you saw a call. Barman, bring me the honey whiskey. You know the one? Black Rock Whiskey.
Honey whiskey.
Chalet, honey near their fro. Black Rock Whiskey is strong. Now so taste me is smooth and it goes down easy. Excuse me.
Barman.
Barman. Bring my friend one Black Rock Whiskey.
Black Rock Whiskey, blended with natural honey flavor.
Hey, what's up?
Barman,
Hey, what the hell for Sikanton Sata? The Pio Bintomana.
Black Whiskey can be the feeling smooth national.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18 years of age and not recommended for pregnant women. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Owning a home is an accomplishment. When it comes to choosing our preference of living, we are faced with a dilemma. Will you go for affordability, comfort, or luxury?
Well, we will help you choose your preferred home at a very affordable and convenient way at the 2023 edition of the Republic Bank Love Affirmed Habitat Fair, slated for Friday, 6 October to Sunday, 8th October 2023 at the Kumasi City Mall, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day.
This event is brought to you by your superstation, Love 99.5 FM, in partnership with Republic Bank.
Powered by Airport City HDG Homes. And sponsored by DBS Industries Limited, Syntex Tank, the Ultimate Protection Plus insurance product from Star Life Assurance, Safety and Home Solutions, supported by.
Hello, my name is Abeku Agri Santana. If there's anything that makes my life so easy, it is my bank. I love hanging out with my boys at our usual fufu joint. But even without cash, we still dey chop better with EcoBank Mobile. No matter the time of day, my bank helps me stay in touch with my beautiful wife whenever she's away. And when my beautiful wife is in town, she never misses out on her favorite TV shows because I'm able to pay up all my TV subscriptions from the comfort of my mobile phone. Whenever she has to get groceries too, my bank makes it cashless and convenient. And the part my wife loves the most is when my bank makes it possible and easy for her to shop from any part of the world without moving.
Welcome to the smart world of EcoBank. Download EcoBank Mobile from Google Play Store or the App Store and discover the smart way to bank. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
About 1/3 of a million people live with HIV in Ghana. Close to 10,000 of them die each year, mostly as a result of a lack of antiretroviral drugs and adherence. In fact, close to 57% of children under 14 years living with HIV do not receive antiretroviral drugs, again as a result of inadequate funds to provide them with medication.
Life expectancy for these children is grim. The big worry, close to 16,300 people are newly infected with HIV each year. With this alarming rate of HIV infections, all of us are in danger, and Ghana is headed for an epidemic explosion if nothing is done now to avert it. While the Ghana AIDS Commission is working hard to overturn the situation, the Commission urgently needs funding support from corporate Ghana and individuals to save lives. We're therefore appealing to you, corporate entities and individuals, to support the National HIV and AIDS Fund by dialing star 9898 hash on MTN and Vodafone and follow the prompts, or pay into the National HIV and AIDS Fund account number 101-863-161-3233 Bank of Ghana. Your donation will be used to prevent new infections and provide care for people living with HIV, including children affected by AIDS. For further information, please call Ghana AIDS Commission on 0302 919260 or email info@ghanaids.gov.gh. Give to save a life today. Ghana AIDS Commission, partnering to eliminate HIV and AIDS.
Daddy, this tank is big.
Yes, that's true.
It can store a lot of water.
That's so true.
Wow, it has a working tortoise on it.
That's so true.
I can see SINTEX. Syntax.
That is so true, my daughter.
When it falls down, it will spoil.
That's not true.
But why?
Hey!
Syntex was the first to introduce double-layer tanks in Ghana. Syntex again was the first to introduce white inner layers in Ghana. Syntex gives you the biggest warranty, 7 years. No matter your water needs, Syntex is the answer. Syntex tank. Are you strong? Are you tough?
Alfred. Silver iodide. You're right.
Mark your calendars, set reminders, and get ready for the academic showdown of the year. The 2023 National Science and Maths Quiz. It's time for the brightest young minds in Ghana to battle it out for academic supremacy. Expect mind-bending equations, heart-pounding moments, and nail-biting suspense as the best schools go head-to-head. Who will emerge the ultimate champions and claim the prestigious trophy? Catch the action on TV, radio, and online starting 6th to 24th October 2023. The 2023 National Science and Maths Quiz is produced by Primetime Limited and sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with Goyle PLC and supported by AT, Airtel Tigo, Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, Pepsodent, Betamalt, APSA, Accra College of Medicine, Academic City University College, Coronation Insurance, Garnet, Cowbell, Belacqua, GTP, and YFM. The broadcast of the National Science and Maths Quiz on Joy News and Joy Prime is supported by Vitamilk, German Ozone Medical Center, Virtual Security Africa, Royal Full, Ace Medical Insurance, Chop Box Technologies, Syntex Tanks, Build Financial Technologies, and Family Health University College.
Owning a home is an accomplishment. When it comes to choosing our preference of living, we are faced with a dilemma. Will you go for affordability, comfort, or luxury?
Well, we will help you choose your preferred home at a very affordable and convenient way at the 2023 edition of the Republic Bank Love FM Habitat Fair, slated for Friday, 6th October to Sunday, 8th October 2023 at the Kumasi City Mall, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day.
This event is brought to you by your superstation, Love 99.5 FM, in partnership with Republic Bank.
Powered by Airport City HDG Homes. And sponsored by DBS Industries Limited, Syntex Tank, the ultimate protection plus insurance product from Star Life Assurance, Safety and Home Solutions, supported by
And thank you for staying with us here on PM Express. We're getting a breakdown of how the limited voter registration exercise went after an IPAC meeting today from the Director of Electoral Services, Dr. Srubo Kweku. Doc, we've talked extensively about the process so far. The district level elections is just in a few weeks now. Are you ready?
I will not say we are ready because we are in the... We don't even have register. So, but all the processes that are supposed to be done, we are not behind time. We are even ahead of time. So, given the way we are going, we'll be ready before the day of the election. And now it is the policy of the commission that if when we fix a day for any activity, we should be ready at least 2 weeks to the time so that we don't put ourselves under serious stress. So, by the time that we want to do it on the 19th of December. So, plus or minus, by the 5th of December, we should be ready.
By the 5th of December, you want to be ready to go. And being ready, what does it look like in terms of what logistics and resources, etc.?
We mean that this register would have been exhibited and sealed. No, the law is that any register, before it becomes final, should have been endorsed by the court. So being ready means that they are all inclusive. We do the exhibition, the processes of cleaning the register or doing the correction, the rest, all of them will be done. Then we do the deletion too, because some people might have lost their lives and those things. So once we get all those things, we clean from the system. Then it will be given to the judges to adjudicate on the challenges on them, then they will validate all the registers before we say that the register is now final for usage. Then we will do nomination. We will ask people to come and file, those who want to contest. Don't forget, this is 2 elections, this assembly and the union committee. Then we'll file the nomination. Then we'll do the printing of the notice of poll, which is a bigger form of the ballot paper. Then printing of the ballot paper themselves. Then we'll talk of distribution of the materials, then uploading the BVDs with the registers, and that all these things should be done. Then they will be distributed to the district no less than 2 weeks to the election. Then we'll say that we are set.
The biggest challenge with the district level elections is turnout.
Yes.
People just do not participate close to anything near good enough. You've been in the system for so long. What's your pulse on that in terms of what you're likely to see this time around?
It's one thing that I have observed is that the turnout are higher in the villages as compared to the cities. And I don't know whether you yourself, whether you know your assemblyman.
No.
In the cities, it's difficult for people to appreciate the role of the assemblyman. But if you go to Nan village, for example, it is the assemblyman who determines when the funeral should be held. It is the assemblyman who determines where somebody should be buried.
True.
It is the assemblyman who takes a lot of decisions. Even when the police goes to my village that they need somebody, they go to the assemblyman, for the assemblyman to lead them to whoever they are looking for, whether it's arrested, they facilitate the arrest and those things. In my village, before the funeral will kickstart, when talking of a village in the Ashanti at one point, they call the place and then it is the assemblyman who come and open the funeral before people can even start donating the rest. So you read that he's a focal person there. So when they are contesting, because they know his way is very competitive. But if you come to the urban areas, their impact are more, in a way, not felt much. So you read that the turnout in the cities will be lesser. But in the village, you can even get 80% at some point.
But overall, what's the EC's expectation?
So we are, and this time it seems that from what we are hearing, it seems that the interest is higher. So if it's sustained, then automatically we are going to have better turnout than it used to be.
And you have enough resources, funding to get this done and done?
I would say that so far, the approved budget, what has been approved for us, I don't think we are having challenges assessing them.
Okay. Dr. Sibokweku, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
My Kenyan friend.
And enjoy the rest of your evening, people.